Anaconda from 1997 is kind of a B-movie classic. It had big stars, an actual budget, and a pretty decent storyline. It was a fun movie. Anaconda 2 surprised me with its original storyline about blood orchids and the cure for all of humanity. And it also had decent acting and effects. Anaconda 3 is a different story. The plot is as generic as they come. The biggest talent is David Hasselhoff. And the effects? Oh my, the effects. First off, if you see David Hasselhoff in a movie, that should be your first red flag. The dude's the underground king of modern day B-movies. So I can't say I got too excited for this to be any good. But somehow, this movie still surprised me, in a bad way. Hasselhoff plays Hammett, a rough, tough mercenary. Here he's leading a group through the jungle, and they get attacked by a giant snake. Is this the Anaconda of the movie? Well, I guess not, because after they shoot everything they have at it, the snake finally dies. I get it, this is an intro. You have to have something to grip the audience, but I can tell you now, this has nothing to do with the rest of the movie. Like, at all. Maybe it shows that Hammett can kill snakes, but other than that, this is never brought up again. So just forget about it.
God help us.
Now we meet Murdoch. He's a rich billionaire that owns Wexel, which I think is the corporation from the second movie. He's opened up this state-of-the-art facility to do research on the anacondas. They are kind of continuing the storyline from Anaconda 2 here. Apparently they got the blood orchids and have been able to study them. Remember how the flower would basically fix any ailment you had and make you live forever? Well, apparently it only works on anacondas. They are getting some success on other mammals, but at the end of the day, they still die. Showing him around the lab is Pincus, which is an interesting name. He never wears pink, but okay. Murdoch isn't too thrilled with the progress at the moment, really ripping into Pincus. And to no one's surprise, it's revealed later on that Murdoch has cancer and needs the blood orchid to save him. The two main scientists on the job is Professor Kane and Dr. Amanda Hayes. After seeing the whole place, Murdoch, rather stupidly, shines a light on the sleeping anaconda, which ticks it off. But it can't break through the glass, right? Right? Well, just then, when they think it's safe, the snake busts out and goes on a killing spree. Everyone goes running as bodies start piling up. If I do have to say one good thing about this movie, it would be the practical gore effects. They're not bad, I'll give them that. Well, in the end, a bunch of people are killed, and the snake that broke out makes its way to the queen anaconda to let her out too. So now there's two snakes that escape into the wild. After everything settles down, they call in a team to track and kill the creatures, led by Captain Gronzi. They're in luck too, because the snakes have a tracker on them, just in case something like this had happened. They talk about waiting for Hammett, because apparently he's their leader, I guess, but they don't have time for that. They need to get out into the woods right now. The tracker leads them to an old farm, where just moments ago the farmer was eaten up. Once there, the team looks around a bit and they find the tracker, in a shedded snake skin. Looks like that's not going to help them much now. Worse yet, snakes only shed their skin when they grow, so that means it's getting bigger. Just then, one of the anacondas attacks Gronzi, and they open fire, pumping the snake full of lead. But either they're really bad shots, or this is an invincible snake because it does nothing. Gronzi is dying, and Amanda tries her best to save him, but it's no use. He's a goner.
Amanda, he's dead!
The snake swings by to bite the head off of another guy, and as he dies, he shoots one of their trucks, blowing it up. Are you sure these are skilled mercenaries and not just boneheads? Amanda comes face to face with the snake, and it pauses. Does it recognize her from the lab? Think of her as its mother? No, that's too much character development for this movie. Hammett shows up and scares it away. How did he find him? Well, it's better to not question these things. He steps in as the new leader and the group splits up, some searching on foot and the others driving around to hopefully find the snakes. And, well, it finds them. They wreck their car and everyone's picked off one by one. Except for Amanda, because, she's the main character. She does have a close call, but thankfully she tripped and fell in mud, and seeing how these creatures hunt by body heat, it can't see her. But wait, why does it look so goofy? Here it's okay, but from this camera angle, its eyes look all duh. I'm convinced someone modeled this snake for a high school 3D design class, and the teacher was like, hey, I'm gonna sell that to Hollywood. Well, Hammett comes again to save her skin, and at the house they regroup and clean up. Outside they all talk about what to do next. Well, they know that these are genetically modified snakes, but what they didn't know until now is that the queen is pregnant and about to give birth. If they let that happen, the entire country would be in trouble. The good news is that Hammett was able to shoot one with a tracker that can't be shed, somehow, so that's good. They go after it in an old abandoned house and find the tracker on a half-digested dude. So, good plan. Once again, that fails. They're attacked, more guys are taken out, and the snakes escape into the water, right across from a small town. At this point, the only sensible one, Nick, tells them to throw in the towel, call in the local government, and let them handle this. Well, Hammett knows if they do that, they're not going to get paid. They fight back and forth for a bit until finally Hammett calls in for backup, and they continue on, splitting up again. Amanda with Nick heading to a factory, and Hammett with this random dude just wandering around. Inside, it's not long before Nick's attacked by the male snake, and he knows there's no way he's going to get out of this one. So he grabs a grenade and sacrifices himself, blowing up the giant snake. One down, one to go. But Hammett's ordered to not kill it. Yeah, as if you didn't see this coming from a mile away, Murdoch still needs the snakes alive so he can continue his research to cure his cancer. If the snake is dead, so is he. Obviously, Amanda doesn't care about any of that, and she just wants this to be over with. Well, the explosion alerted Hammett as to where they are, and he finds the factory. He ends up shooting this random guy that was with them, because, he's the bad guy now, and Amanda figures it all out pretty quickly. He never called in for backup. It was all a lie just to keep them going. Hammett offers Amanda a job for some reason. Why not just kill her too? Well, I guess she's too valuable to him. She's done the research and she was close to a cure. After a little bit, she agrees to work for him? What? But she was the good guy. Well, she does her best Borat impression.
This suit is not black.
No, not has to be the end.
Okay. This suit is black nut.
And they start fighting, all while the snake watches. She ends up stabbing him and grabs a bomb, arming it, and getting the heck out of there. All while Hammett desperately tries to disarm it, and baby snakes surround him. But he's too weak, and he can't make it in time. The factory blows up along with all the snakes, and Hammett inside. All while Amanda slow walks away like Iron Man. Well, when it's all said and done, some dude enters the factory, finds one of the baby snakes, and takes it back to Murdoch. But hold up, are you trying to say that this is a baby anaconda? Now, I know nothing about snakes, and I can tell you, that's no anaconda. At least it's a real snake and not CGI. And that was Anaconda 3 Offspring. And don't say I didn't warn ya. It was pretty bad. I think the biggest disappointment is the plot. How many times have we seen something like this? It's generic as they come. A genetically modified creature escapes, so a team has to go out and kill it. It's almost impressive how it doesn't change anything or add anything new to the formula. I can excuse some things. For the most part, the main acting was fine, and like I said, the practical gore effects were actually pretty good. I knew the snake was going to be CGI, but I was not prepared for how goofy it was going to look. I mean, come on. I know the budget was slashed compared to the other two movies, and I get that, but I've seen independent filmmakers do a better job than this. And I have to say, the deep jungle rainforest scenery is missed here. The little greenery that they do show is just some woods. No, it's less than that. It's a park. Anaconda 3 fails to capture what made the first two watchable, and what you're left with is an hour and a half of torture. I can't recommend it unless you need to see all the Anaconda movies. I give it one goofy-eyed CGI snake out of 4.
I don't like where this is going.
I don't know how it can get any worse.
She's pregnant.
I was wrong.